All right, here we go. Seniors to be class of 2017. We're going to be talking about forecasting, picking classes. First things first, you should have this form right in front of you right now. It's a forecasting form. If you don't have one, you can get one from your counselor, Registrar Ms. Staggs, me, Mr. Dieso, or you can go online at lsprep.org. We're going to talk about classes for next year. Here's what you're taking: English, religion, economics. You can choose between government or AP government. Math, maybe you already met the requirement, but 4 years is recommended for college. The same with science. Maybe you already met the requirement, but 4 years is recommended. And then an elective. And do you have all of these specific requirements needed at LaSalle? So before you choose classes, make sure you're talking to the right people. The counselor, your teacher, your parents, maybe a couple friends who you value their input. Know what classes are required. Do you know all the classes that you need to earn your diploma at LaSalle and that will put you in a position to get into the college of your choice? If you don't, ask questions. You should be asking questions anyway because you want to ensure you've got these requirements taken care of. Okay? So I'm not going to go over them specifically here, but you make sure you have all of these checked off before you can earn your diploma. And if you're not sure, ask questions. Talk to your counselor. You might have your transcript in front of you, and you can go over that with them. All right, English. We're going to start with English. Next year, you've got two choices: Standard English 4 or AP Lit and Composition, AP English 4. If you don't know what AP entails, talk to your current English teacher, and they'll let you know if you're a good fit for that. Science. Now, 3 years is the minimum requirement for graduation from LaSalle, but oftentimes people take a fourth year, and there are several options. Anatomy Physiology is a very popular course, as is AP Chemistry and AP Biology and AP Physics. Keep in mind that if you take one of these classes, not just AP classes, but they can't be dropped mid-year. Okay, we plan very carefully for students to be in classes for the entire year. So if you're thinking about whether to take one or not, talk to your current science teacher. Social Studies. 3 total credits are required to graduate, and the next move for seniors is to take Econ and Government. Or, next year you can take AP Gov/Economics. It's a year-long course. You can see there that it says 1.5. It's actually 1.0 for this entire class, AP Government/Economics. It's a year-long class. It cannot be split up. So if you sign up for AP Gov, you're in it for a year long. This is something a little bit different than we've done in the past. Talk to Mr. Lanigan or Mr. Doran, who are set to teach the class for next year. Math. Okay, like science, 3 years are required, but we often recommend to take 4 years. All right. Algebra 2 is the benchmark for college, so if you haven't had Algebra 2, you should be taking it this year, but most of you are probably already taken Algebra 2, and so you're moving on to any one of these classes listed. Keep in mind that we do have a new math class, multivariable vector calculus. For those of you that were in calculus last year, this might be an option. And remember, we can't drop math mid-year. So if you're in it to win it. World languages. Have you completed your 2 years of the same language to be college eligible, or are you looking to take the second year next year, or are you looking to go on to a third or fourth year? Okay, so keep in mind that we have offerings beyond the second year here at LaSalle. AP. You've heard me say it before, but AP classes cannot be dropped mid-year. All right. We plan for students to be in class for the whole year. So people that decide they want to get out or try to get out of classes really don't have a place for you to go. And it really doesn't look good for colleges. If you're applying to college with an AP class on your transcript in the fall semester, they want to see it in the spring semester. AP classes are supposed to be challenging. They're supposed to require a commitment because they could end up getting you college credit should you score well enough on the AP exam come May. Religious studies, some choices for seniors. World religions or Christian lifestyles or LaSalle ministries, you need to choose 2 of these that equal 1.0 credit. Some of you may have taken sacred spaces or want to take sacred spaces in the summer with Mr. Horch. Sign up online now. Those spots fill up very, very quickly. If you sign up for LaSalle Ministries, you probably already know whether you were accepted or not into that program. Otherwise, World Religions and Christian Lifestyles is for you. If you have questions, see your counselor. Fine arts. Have you met your 1.0 fine arts requirement to graduate? If not, Check out some of these options. You'll notice that Art 2 is a little bit different this next year, and you can take it for a half year or a full year. Okay? If you've already taken Art Foundations, Art 2 might be for you. PE. You need PE to graduate. You need 1.0 PE. So if you've taken half of PE already, finish it up the senior year. If not, you better plan on taking it both semesters next year, your senior year. They have a lot of options, including Coach Hazel's summer PE course that you can sign up online now at ellisprep.org. Let's talk about speech credit. You're going to need speech credit to graduate, a 0.5 credit. And there's a couple different ways to get it. There's speech and debate with Mr. Doran, multimedia and web with Mr. Donnelly, journalism Mr. Kane, intro to comp sci Mr. Vogie, and CWA with Mr. Barstow. You can also take these year-long classes, which will count half of fine arts and half for speech comm, and drama Mr. Cachado, choir Mr. Wild, concert band Mr. Donnelly, guitar, advanced guitar Mr. Wild, and now for the first time a third year or higher world language will count as, half of that will count as a speech credit. So make sure you have the credit needed to graduate. That's 0.5 credit. All right, our STEM offerings for next year. You'll notice there's a new offering, Computer Science 2, Gaming Design and Development. It's the next class in the sequence after Intro to Comp Sci. So if you've already taken Intro to Comp Sci, you're probably interested in taking Comp Sci 2. See Mr. Vogie or Mr. Heineck if you're interested. We also have these other great offerings, Multimedia Web, Tech Media Arts that Mr. Donnelly taught this year, and EP Computer Science with Mr. Heineck. All right, here we go. More electives: journalism, psychology, creative writing, all half-year electives, and a year-long electives yearbook with Miss Banta. Interested in being an EA? A great way to bolster your academic transcript and contribute back to our community. EAs count for a letter grade and half credit. Couple new offerings for next year. Pretty excited about bioethics taught by Miss Coleman and contemporary world affairs to be taught by Mr. Barstow. These are elective classes in the science and social studies departments, and they are going to be blended online classes. I'll talk more about that in a minute, but first let's talk about bioethics. If you're interested in social justice in connection with science, then this is the class for you. Miss Coleman's going to teach this highly engaging class around topics in the 21st century that we deal with as far as moral challenges and how science guides those decisions we make around that. I'd pause it right here and read this slide a little bit more closely if you're interested, or talk to Miss Coleman. Contemporary World Affairs taught by Mr. Barstow next year is a semester-long half credit. Very interesting topic as well, as we look at current events around the world and how they impact us and how we contribute to them. So I would talk to Mr. Barstow if you're interested in this. But what are blended online classes? Well, a blended online class is part online and part in class. It's primarily online with you interacting with peers and your instructor and the content and curriculum at a computer or on your iPad online. There are face-to-face components of the class. You'll meet periodically with your classmates and your teacher in a classroom, but mostly online. These classes have limited enrollment. We're not going to take huge size classes, and they're only open to juniors and seniors. We're looking for people that have good self-management, time management, organizational skills, are competent with using technology, and are really invested in their own learning. If this is something you're considering, talk to Mr. Barstow, Ms. Coleman, or me, Mr. D'Aso. All right, so it's classes for next year. Let's look at these real quick. You're going to have to make some decisions around whether or not to take AP classes or not, what religion classes you want to take. We have some options there. Whether or not you want to take government and separate from econ, or you want to have econ and AP government together in one class. Math and science, you'll decide whether or not you want to take a fourth year, and if so, know that you're in it to win it for the entire year. And then what electives do you need or want to take? Have you met all of these specific fine art, PE, world language, and speech credit requirements to earn your LaSalle diploma and put you in position not only to graduate, but to enter the college of your choice? So looking at 7 credits for next year. So talking to the right people. Make sure you're talking to all of these people here about your choices. Know that you should have the information in your hands to bring back on March 28th, which is the Tuesday after Easter Monday spring break. And we're going to be in the computer lab with you choosing classes. If you have questions and you want to go online, ellisprep.org/academics. There's also a forecasting page there, and ask questions. All right, the future starts today, class of 2017, so best of luck in choosing your classes. We'll see you soon.